Welcome back to another episode of the Moz House Podcast. I'm your host, Hunter Begun. Today I'm here with our current artist in residence, Anongookwe Wolf. And how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing really well today. Thank you for asking.
Nice. Well, I know you're a multidisciplinary artist. Could you tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are as an artist?
Yeah. So a lot of my background is actually in beadwork and regalia making. So I went to school for jewelry design at the Institute of American Indian Arts, and I should have realized it at the time that I had a lot more fun writing my papers than actually doing my assignments. So yeah, for the past couple of years, I've mostly been focusing on poetry, but of course I still bead and sew on the side, and then do a little bit of music for funsies, because, I get bored if I do something too often. So, got to keep switching it up for the sake of my sanity.
Yes, I know how that feels. Happens to me all the time. What medium is your favorite, if you have one?
Oh, gosh. Writing.
Writing?
Yeah, I'd say writing, and of course I love music. So, yeah, I think those two bring me the most joy. And yeah, sewing and beadwork, that's for myself or just for people who I like to give gifts to occasionally. I don't know. It feels weird capitalizing off of my artwork, like my more tangible stuff. So I have a lot more fun just making stuff for fun and gifting it out. Yeah, that was a long answer.
No, that's fine. A lot of artists struggle with monetizing, not even monetizing, but like becoming capitalistic in terms of you get to now sell your stuff that is like part of your heritage at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's just, it is weird. Usually I like to sell my stuff at the powwow. And I have two different prices, one for the people I know and then one people I've never seen before in my entire life. They're just visiting. Yeah,
I'm just like, ooh, got to give that 30% markup with the strangers.
Even 30% seems a little low to me. No.
Yeah, maybe.
I always tell my, have you met Jeremy's mom?
No, I haven't.
Well, she will be here tomorrow, but she's the workshop coordinator. Mm-hmm. She does lots of beadworking and stuff. It's very good. The whole show up there is like from her teaching everybody.
Oh yeah, I look at it whenever I go out there. It's stunning.
And I always have to like beg her to charge fair prices on her stuff, like increase it because it's all so cheap compared to all the other people, and her stuff is better usually. Yeah. I actually saw that you do a lot of beadwork, and in my researches, and how did you get into doing beadwork and making regalias and whatnot?
Well, my mom, of course. So my mom, she's an artist. She's always had like a very artistic eye, and she's been sewing and beading since she was like a little kid. It's actually really funny. I think my mom was a lot sweeter in how she taught me, because my great grandma would like shuffle over to my mom's little workstation where my mom was beading, and she was like, it's too loose, and then would like shuffle away, and then my mom would be like ripping out her beadwork. And so she like tried getting my brother and I into it when we were kids, but we had really short attention spans and would like run away as soon as we saw her craft box come out. But I got more into sewing like late middle school, high school, because I grew up in the countryside, like on the reservation, and there weren't a lot of great shops to find cute clothes. So got to learn to sew to look fabulous, and also got to learn to bead to look fabulous. And my mom was very kind to set aside time to teach me. Yeah.
Nice. I've been learning how to do a lot of beadwork also the past 2 years. Here at Moz House exclusively, basically.
Nice.
Yeah. Even made a hat up there. That's
Whoa.
in the show. Yeah, from beading. Which, the beginning of my hat is very loose, and I was getting mad because I just couldn't get it nice looking. But by the end of it, it's all nice looking. So
nice.
It takes a little while. And it's kind of annoying that I just started learning how to do it, because I just had no interest when I was a kid, or even through high school or college years. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm around it so much, I'm like, yeah, I can learn it. And I decided to.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, we already asked what your favorite medium, which is writing. How did you kind of switch from jewelry to writing? How'd that happen?
Yeah, so, I think one of my biggest flaws while I was an undergrad was that I overworked myself and got really burnt out. And basically after I graduated, I was just like, man, I don't want to sell jewelry. I was like, this isn't something I really want to capitalize off of. And like how I said before, it just feels weird, selling a lot of my work for money. And it has nothing to do with thinking it's like there's nothing wrong with the quality. I just hate capitalism. So yeah. And basically the pandemic happened and I was like, I need an outlet, and I'm still recovering from making jewelry. So I started just writing again for funsies, and eventually it started going from like short stories and like a bunch of shit writing into poetry, basically. Yeah. And, you know, I started taking it a lot more seriously, like late 2022, where I was like, okay, this brings me a lot more joy. I've done Indian market, had a good time, but I don't want to keep selling. Mm-hmm. Like I only really sell whenever I'm like, okay, I need money.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What do you like so much about writing?
It's one of my few times where I have solitude. I think I'm pretty social and I like to get out, and my brain is always super duper busy. And is just a way for me to empty and really process my feelings and the world and like just my relationship with family members. And I was like, oh, this is so therapeutic. I'm going to keep going. But I'm trying to write more positively right now. 'Cause I think a lot of my work is like a little, I don't want to say emo, but it's a lot of the topics I cover with my writing is, you know, talks about gang violence and like just things I've been exposed to as a kid. And I'm like, okay, I want to start writing about happier things soon. But, you know, writing will get me there eventually. And I'm going to have to stop tossing my head around.
I don't see anything wrong with writing violent things down. But it's kind of, it might not be fun for you, but the violent, I don't think there's anything bad like with that type of stuff. It's got to get out somehow.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
otherwise
true.
It'll be stuck in there. No one wants that.
Yeah.
So how do you? What's your writing process look like in terms of like? Do you use pen and paper? Do you typing it up? What do you like to use?
I like to use pen and paper. That is how I begin everything, because I think once I'm at the computer, I start hyperfixating on grammar, and then spell checking myself. But when I'm like, it's just pen and paper, I can write like a couple of pages, and it's basically just word vomit. That's how I was taught, is like, you know, just word vomit everything, and then I just go in and I find the theme. I start circling different words or paragraphs that I'm like, okay, this is really resonating, and how can I put this into like poem form? And that's usually when I go to my computer and I start like editing for a couple of hours, take a rest, come back the next day. I'm like, edit, take another rest until I'm satisfied with the final quote unquote result. But yeah, pen and paper, that is my favorite way to start out. But also sometimes I feel bad for the notebooks, because I'm like, oh, you're such a beautiful notebook, and this is some crazy word vomit. I'm sorry, you're so beautiful. No one look on the inside.
Like it adds to it.
Yeah.
One day it'll be like a relic in the past. Like, oh my god, what did this person write in here?
They're just like, what the heck were they thinking?
Yeah, exactly. Like someone ever gets a hold of my notebook, which I'll have to burn it when I'm done.
That's literally
someone
like what
finds it. But you know, it's just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally what I used to do as a kid, is that I'd have like a bunch of notebooks of my drawings and writing, and then we had a burn barrel outside, and once it was burn day, I was just like throwing it all in there, and I was like, we don't need this to be documented.
Well, now it's gone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, most of my notebooks have been, I never get to finish them, but this one sometimes I do, but this one's been like really used for a while now, and I use it for like everything. I'm just like, well, I have this notebook here.
Yeah.
So I come up with like random skit ideas and all sorts of crap, and then I don't know, but it definitely doesn't need to see the light of day, most of them. And then I have like weird drawings.
Ooh.
Just I have lines that turn into stuff. And most of them look weird, so no one else needs to see those either.
Nice. Wait, so do you do comedy like skits that you're writing?
Usually they're more the comedy aspect, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. But a lot of them I want to do films, so like some of them are like the beginnings of movies that are nothing to do with comedy, because they're more serious tone, and I would like them to I would just want an Oscar eventually. Would be nice.
Yeah.
But I don't think comedies usually win those. So the plan is to make a name myself through comedy. Then all of it, like Adam Sandler, will do a serious movie all of a sudden, and then I'll win.
Or like Robin Williams.
If I was ever as good as Robin Williams, I'd be a billionaire by now already, probably millionaire.
Yeah, man, he was amazing.
Yeah. R.I.P. Miss him.
10 years already. Oh.
Has it actually been 10? Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
he actually died the day before I entered college. And so I was like so excited for college. And the very next day I was like weeping at orientation.
My God, I can't believe I was 15 when he died. That seems so long ago.
I know, right? Aw.
It's like half my life. That's insane.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah. He's almost been dead longer than I've been alive with him, which is weird.
No.
Yeah. We'll try to move on from the sadness of Robin.
Sorry, I'm getting old sad now.
You know, it's okay. Happens on the podcast. Yeah, so like there's a TV station down here called LTV, and they wanted Ma's house to do like a show there. Cool. And I was like, okay, I'll do a show. Or I was like trying to figure out a good show to do, and since we had the podcast, I was like, we could do a podcast-esque show, and I love I can't think of his name right now. See, I'm really bad with names, but there's a guy who started on public access television, and now he would have like celebrities come on, and just they would all think it's just a regular sit down, and then like the table would explode. Andre, God, what is his last name? Andre something. But he was so funny, so I wanted to do that, and I wanted my first guest to be Jeremy, and I was just going to show up in like a suit, and then I was going to just basically go ballistic, like set up like a chessboard, and be like, okay, Jeremy, we're going to play a game of just a game of chess while we're recording, blah, blah, blah. After he makes his first move, I just swipe the whole chess table away, act like it never happened. A couple minutes later, there's like a folding table behind us. Just like normal, asking Jeremy about serious questions about his art, like, oh, so how did you get into doing photography, blah, blah, blah. And then I just get up and jump into the table and then get back up. Nothing happened. Because he's very, like, withheld. So I feel like that'd be a perfect test run would be on Jeremy, because he does not, I just can't imagine his reactions to that. I don't think
he's so calm.
Mm-hmm. He is very calm. So I would like to get him beyond the calmness threshold on television. At least get some fight or flight activated would be nice.
Oh, poor Jeremy. Well, now he knows your plans.
So who knows? And he's not here, so he can't even hear it.
Oh, he's not here. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I don't know where Jeremy is. Jeremy? Yeah, he's not here. Okay. He could be anywhere. He actually probably is listening to this right now. So, how did you discover Ma's house?
So I remember when Ma's house like first either opened up or was shared through the Forge project. So yeah, a bunch of cool things have been happening since the 2020s, but also a lot of awful things. We're not going there. So I remember the Ma's house residency was first shared through the Forge project, and this was a couple of years ago. And I think at the time I was like more focused in like uplifting like friends and like my partner, where I was just like, y'all need to take these opportunities, go. So I didn't think about applying, to be honest. And then, you know, I saw like in December that Ma's house had an open call for artists. And once again, I was like sending it to friends and my partner, and I was like, apply. And my therapist was like, why don't you apply? And I was like, okay. So I did it. I wasn't expecting anything, to be honest. I was like pretty surprised when Jeremy reached out, but maybe I shouldn't say this, but like when I got an email from him, he was like, "Hello, Josephine," and he was like, "Do you have time to meet for like an interview or something?" And I was like, "My name's Anongookwe. I don't know if you're."
Who the hell is Josephine, Jeremy?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you're looking for a Josephine. I don't know who that is. And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I guess like Google auto corrected." And he was like, "No, I'm actually trying to reach you." And I was like, "Okay, okay, cool."
God. That'd be so messed up.
I'm Josephine now.
Yeah. So like, oh yeah, that's me, Josephine. Jeremy everyone always has like a good, not really a good story, but it's always interesting to hear how Jeremy contacts people.
Yeah.
Especially because it's just like within like 2 days, I feel like people know if they like get it or something. I don't know. He's very fast with deciding.
Yeah. He is quick. I really appreciate his prompt responses because I have a tendency not to be impatient, but I'm just like, when am I going to get an email?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know if I got it or not.
Yeah, I need to know if I'm rejected because I need to plan accordingly.
Yeah. So how's your residency been?
It's been great. Yeah, I've really been enjoying it. I immediately came in from another residency in Morocco, which was also fantastic.
In Morocco?
Yeah, in Morocco.
We're going to talk about that a little bit too later after this.
Yeah, and and while I was in Morocco, I was like basically socializing for a month straight, and I'm an introvert, but I had a great time. But coming to Ma's house, I was like, oh, I don't have to be social, and just kind of like locked myself in my room and was like writing. I did a lot more writing here than I did in Morocco because I was like, let's hang out with everybody. So it's been great. And then Jeremy and Brianna have been very sweet and welcoming. We went to, what was it? Between Two Knees, that new, that 1491's play.
Mm-hmm. Is that supposed to be like Between Two Ferns thing or just very different?
No, it's very different. I think it's okay. How can I explain the plot? It's Wounded Knee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's like talking about like a family's, intergenerational like family storyline, starting from like the mother who I think was killed at Wounded Knee and all the way up through like AIM, American Indian movement in Minneapolis and, things like that. Yeah. And it was, it's true 1491 style where you're laughing 1 minute and then crying the next. And it's emotional whiplash.
I did notice that Jeremy did post about it.
Yeah.
He said he was crying, and I was like, Jeremy crying? What does that even look like? I was just like, wow, a play is making him feel different emotions. That's insane. So it must have been good.
It was really good. Yeah. And it was a preview, which my friend who's, she's really in the theater scene, and she was like, a preview is basically where there's still like kind of, they'll pause the actors to like adjust something. So it went for like 3 hours, I think.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, like Jeremy and Brianna actually had to leave, and so I stuck around with my friends because my friend Ty also was working on the production, and I wanted to say hi to him. And yeah, a lot of things happened. Like a lady fainted in the show.
In the show? Like one of the actors?
Oh, no, sorry. One of the audience members. Oh. Yeah, like we just heard like a thud, and we had to be paused for like 20 minutes as she was getting helped out. Luckily, there was a doctor on the scene. Yeah, but yeah, very eventful evening. Great show.
Yeah. Sounds like it's okay. Good. Why don't we talk a little bit about your residency in Morocco? How did you even get a residency in Morocco?
Yeah, so what was it? I think it was back in May last year. I always like to choose. I like to go abroad. I love traveling, and places I like to I usually like to go have like a bath culture. I love
bath culture.
Bath culture is. Oh. I love taking baths. So I went to Turkey for the hammams. Went to Japan for the hot springs. And I was just seeing lots of stuff about Morocco. like, their hammams, and I love textile culture. And I've always wanted, to go to Africa. And I was like, I need to find a residency. Because I don't want to just go there. I actually want to like stay in one place and like get to know the community. So I found a place that was called Green Olive Arts in Tetouan, Morocco.
It sounds really nice. Green Olive Arts.
Yeah,
sounds fancy.
It was really nice. And yeah, I submitted an application, didn't hear back for 2 months, had an interview, got accepted, and it's a relatively affordable residency because I went to Vermont Studio Center as well, and that was very expensive, even with half a grant.
In Vermont?
Yeah, in Vermont.
That's crazy. It's more expensive to go to Vermont.
Yeah, right. But I also got a grant to go to Morocco as well, and yeah, it was great. It was just 3 weeks of writing, but I also got to take classes on Moroccan rug knotting and tajira and fezi style embroidery. I always like to take advantage of classes, and yeah. And I was basically just every opportunity I could to like just meet and talk with locals. I also stayed with the host family. I took advantage because I really wanted to learn Darija, which is Moroccan Arabic. And basically how my friends in Morocco describe it is like they can understand classical Arabic and any other type of Arabic, but people cannot understand Darija because it's a mix of French, Spanish, and Amazigh, which is the indigenous language of Morocco, and then of course Arabic. So got to learn really fun phrases, and by the end of the trip, people were just like, "You speak like a 3-year-old," and I was like, "I'm gonna take it." That's
pretty good.
Yeah,
that is really good, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite word is, I'm probably going to butcher it now, is a katamnakmi, which means I'm crazy about you.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a good word.
Yeah.
Huh. So, how does your way of making all your different types of art change when you're on a residency rather than when you're at home in your own space?
How do they change when I'm at a residency? I think I feel more focused at a residency. Because usually when I'm at home, I have like just the distractions. Oh my God, I can't speak. Distractions. There we go. Distractions of daily life. So, I always live with people, and sometimes I'm in the writing zone and I get interrupted, and I'm like, ugh, fine, I'll go help you with something. Because usually I'm always asked to like help with around the house or go do this or go do that. And so I just find at a residency I have the space to write and no one bugs me. And I also get inspired, like wherever I go, by the land, by the people. So that also greatly influences my writing style. But yeah, of course I do write at my house, but I'm always have a bunch of other things going on. And then also thinking about money.
Got to be able to afford to live somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Gosh dang it. It's so expensive nowadays.
It is. I could never live anywhere around here if I didn't live on the res, which is so crazy because everything here is so expensive.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Like, just going out on the property and looking across the lake, I was like, you don't need that big of a house.
They don't.
No.
It's, I can't even, like, how many people do you even have in your family to...
3.
Yeah, 3 people. Like, they have, like, 30 person homes, and... like you could have 20 kids, but it just seems excessive to have to fill up that even in one house of like to make it okay, now the house is feeling normal sized. No, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like oh my God, their heating bill, I'm sure they don't have to worry because they're rich, but it's also like it's so wasteful.
And usually they're empty at this time of year anyway. People only come by during the summertime.
Oh, just dumb.
Yeah. And when those houses were all like first made, they would just dump everything into the water.
Ew.
So now it's like everything's which is really bad because that's the water they also drink and whatnot, even those people. So they've kind of just screwed themselves. So the Shinnecock kelp farmers have tried to alleviate some of that, if you have heard of them, by farming kelp in the water around here because all the rich people ruined it. They've kind of just murked themselves by polluting the water they have to drink not realizing even getting a well is not. It's gonna run out pretty soon.
Classical rich person.
Yeah. And it's all the salt water is gonna come in too, and they're gonna be like even less water for them to drink. It's gonna be a fun time for them.
So fun, fun. Yeah, doesn't kelp help kelp and seaweed help absorb like hard metals in the water?
Mm-hmm. That and CO2 like takes all the or nitrogen like what it each is like a bunch of different pollutants, and then and it gives like homes for clams and mussels and stuff, which also filter out the water really well.
Yeah.
So creating a new ecosystem for them would be good because most of that stuff is like dying off naturally here. Mm-hmm. But you do what you can and hope for the best.
Gotta keep trying. Keep trying to help our waters.
We do.
Yeah.
Especially because I like water so much. Especially seltzer water. It's my favorite.
Yeah, water is the best. Water is the best. And I get mad. I get heated so easily just with people wanting to pollute it. Like at every chance they get, they're like, deep sea oil drilling. Oh, it's going to make us so much money. And I'm like, bro.
They're doing this... these windmills in the ocean that are like so windmill in the ocean sounds like a good idea at first, but it's not a very good idea because it doesn't generate enough. I mean, it generates electricity, great, but who's electricity for? The rich people who are moving in here.
Yeah,
which is everyone needs electricity, fine, but they make like a noise, like a lot of noise in their water.
Oh, great!
And like completely just ruin how fish can like navigate the ocean.
Yeah,
especially like whales and dolphins. Like it goes at the same frequency as their like sonar stuff, just destroys them. So they were building stuff off the ocean here, and I think BP was doing it, and I think they just decided to stop, or some investor just was like, yeah, we're done doing this.
Good.
Like today or yesterday or something. So that's always good.
Oh wow, so very recent.
Yeah.
Very recent. Good. We don't need more. We don't need more stuff in our waters.
No, we don't.
No, and also like all the copper that it takes that they have to extract from places like I know there was like the Boundary Waters where people are trying to open up a copper mine to make stuff like windmills and whatnot, and it's all very extractive at the end of the day, and we don't. I just want to be happy, but it's so hard.
Yeah, I try to tune out all like news and what's going on. I can't even go on Facebook anymore because it's all just like bad things that are happening. And I was like, geez, I can't soil my day every day by looking at what's going on because it's so much bad stuff. So I try not to. But then my mom always be like, Hunter, did you hear about this? And it's like the worst thing I've heard about in my entire life. I'm like, no, thanks for letting me know.
And it's good that you take breaks. I need to learn how to do that because I think I like being in the know too much, and it doesn't ruin my day. I try not to let it, but I do get depressed like almost instantly. So, okay, I guess that does ruin my day.
It's hard not to just people who like care about stuff. It's hard to not be like, oh my God, what the heck are we gonna do? Because it's just the doomsday is just closing in. But we do have like, I don't know, like if I didn't know about what's going on in the world today, I'd be having the best day ever. Probably. If I just walked outside, just like sat down, looked at the birds, I'd be having the best day ever. Went to the ocean, but I opened up my damn phone and I had to know what was going on.
Yeah.
With everywhere else in the world.
I don't know, but even now, like when I usually have like those like social media rest days, I was like back home in Wisconsin and like I'd go outside and I'm like, I'm just going to be in nature. And then there was like no sno in December time.
Oh yeah, that, you're right.
Yeah. And so
It's
I'm just
hard.
like, the world is ending.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really need to like find some radical joy right now. Cause
I 100%. I was feeling like that like a month ago. I was like, where the hell is the snow?
yeah, God.
It like barely snowed, and I was like, I remember it used to be like a winter wonderland around here. It's like
Literally.
50 degrees today.
It's 50 degrees.
It was like 46, and I was like, what the heck? It's February 8th today, and I like brought my jacket. I was like, I don't need a jacket right now.
It's hot.
Yeah, because the sun was like so powerful. I was like, it's pretty warm in my car right now. I don't need my jacket on. I was like, God. And so like it is hard to escape once you know what's going on. It's very almost impossible to escape it. Except when it does snow, I'm like, oh, thank God, it's snowing.
I do, like, my fingers are still crossed that we're going to get some sort of blizzard, some type of snow, because it's still not in Wisconsin. And it's like usually March time is blizzard season. So.
Really? In Wisconsin?
Yeah, in Wisconsin, like, usually, I mean, of course, we have snow, like, from my childhood and, like, even a couple of years ago, it's from, like, November onwards, and get down to, like, -20, and you can be nice and cozy in your house, and then, like, you have a moment in March where it's like, oh, spring is coming. We call it false spring, because, like, almost, like, the very next week, we're just getting slammed with snow. So, I'm still hoping for that blizzard.
The blizzard?
Yeah.
I just want enough. We got a puppy a couple months ago, and he's only seen snow, like, a little bit. I wanted the snow to be, like, taller than he is, so he can, like, jump in and have a nice time. That's what I'm hoping for him.
He deserves that.
I know, he does deserve it. I'm like, his name is Saka, and I was like, Saka, you need to be able to jump and frolic in the snow like a little baby that you're allowed to.
Is he going to become like a real big dog? Or...
No, he's not. He's a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, okay, so he'll still get to have, like, the chance to, like...
Yeah, if it, like, one day the climate change switches up to being lots of snow, he'll be able to jump in there.
Yeah, let's just go back into an ice age.
Yeah. That's honestly... We're getting a little off topic, but I was, like, thinking about climate change the other day. I was like, is it really our fault, or is the just the Earth going to be like, you know what, time for another catastrophic event and get rid of all these people living here? Because it keeps happening every couple thousand years. Maybe not every couple thousand, but every, like, 10,000 years we have some type of horrific event, wipes out half the population.
Well, I mean, this is, like, very much, like, human.
Yeah,
human
it's because of us.
Yeah, they're just...
Can we even stop it at this point?
Yeah.
No, probably not. And who knows what we'll turn into? Another ice age. And then maybe we'll learn this time because we have so much technology. We can, like, oh, remember when we murdered the Earth last time?
Oh, my God.
We can just not murder the Earth this time.
That'd be nice. But we got billionaires making bunkers. They don't care about they don't care about life lessons.
I saw people were gonna just they're gonna create, like, a false, like, narrative that people, they need to go into their bunker, so they go in there, then just fill the entrances with concrete, so then they can't get out.
Hell yeah.
That'd be...
They'll find them in a couple million years or something. The next...
How'd this guy have an underground base? Nothing even happened.
Yeah, he's like what you find his skeleton, like, fused in the linoleum or whatever.
Well,
we're off topic again.
Yes. All right. We'll continue. It's fine. It's fine.
Man, these chickens.
Yeah, there's chickens out there. I don't really like birds. Now we're off topic again. I don't want to start an I don't like bird situation.
Okay, yeah, because I was about to fight you.
Yeah. They're just weird looking.
No!
They are kind of weird looking.
No, they're the best.
I like those chickens. One time, this is getting me up, but this is Mom's House related. There was a workshop 2 weeks ago, and I was here. I was, like, walking around having a good time, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, what is that noise? There's a chicken inside. Chicken inside in a box. I'm like, what? He got, like, hurt and was, like, wrestling in there.
Yeah.
And was just hanging out in the box. I was like, what the heck is this chicken doing inside? And then Brianna came down and was like, oh, yeah, that's who. And they're warming up. They were outside for too long. I was like, oh, okay. So then I was watching, and then it started jumping up on top of the box, like, walking around all crazy.
Oh, what a sweet little baby.
Yeah, I didn't trust him. Who knows what he was going to do.
Just be sweet.
Yeah, they try. So these chickens are very nice. They're kind of like, some of them have human tendencies.
Yeah, they are pretty, like, I raised chickens as a kid, and these ones are very well-tempered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But a lot of birds, like I think owls are cool, but I don't really want to see owls very often. That means, like, people are going to die.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of birds are, like, omens, like, bad things.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're annoying to me because they always nest in my window and then annoy me at, like, 5 a.m. They're like, "Brr." Scream. Even right now, because of climate change, they're damn nesting early.
Oh,
waking me up at 5 a.m. doing whatever. Yeah, that's my bird rant.
I'm very much a birder.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with birds. But sorry, I am going off topic though. I remember in 2019, I should have known better. My friend and I were, like, escaping this lady's house in the Italian countryside. She basically, like, kind of locked us up in that house and, like, wouldn't let us leave. And so we had to escape at, like, 5 a.m. while she was sick.
That sounds spooky.
Yeah, and we were like walking along the road trying to find a bus stop, and I found like a little dead barn owl, and it felt wrong to like leave the poor baby on the road, so like put him in my bag, and like we hopped on the bus and buried him outside the train station. And I didn't think anything of it, but then like the very next month my cousin died. So
jeez.
yeah.
These owls, for people who don't know, owls are like signs of death, impending doom.
But I still love them.
Yeah, they're okay. I don't hate birds, everybody, but I don't love them. Okay, we'll get back to questions. So,
Ooh, what was that?
That's Jeremy.
Oh,
he just
hi,
got
Jeremy.
back. 42. Jeremy arrives and ruins the podcast.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to discussing your art. Why do you make art?
It brings me a sense of peace. Yeah. I feel at peace when I'm making art, except when I'm sewing at 2 a.m. because then I'm cussing up a storm. But that it brings variety. It brings variety to my life. And I love just connecting with other artists as well. I think it's a very simple answer. It brings me peace. And that's what I need in my life. I think we all need some peace in our life.
Agreed. Has there been anything recently that's been inspiring your work, or has it been consistent throughout your career?
It's been pretty consistent for the past couple of years. Because I think I'm just trying to work out all the stuff like I previously discussed, like with the gang and the drugs, and like I think like in 2018, 2019, I was more like talking about boarding schools, but yeah, it's all been very consistent subjects I've been touching on, and I cannot wait to move on, but I'm still working through it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's talk about your clothing a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I noticed a few things. You make a lot of jingle dresses.
Oh, yeah.
Which look really cool.
Thank you.
How do you I know your mom probably taught you how to do.
Mm-hmm.
Start making regalias. How did you like really decide to just like go all in on just like I want to start making more clothing?
Well, just clothing in general is once again, grew up on the reservation, didn't have much like access to clothing stores. Like there was a place called Maurice's that a lot of kids in high school were telling me like, oh, you got to go to Maurice's. That's the place to go. And I was like, these clothes are polyester and they're ugly. I think I was a very nice kid, but I was like so judgmental when it came to clothing. So yeah, I just wanted to keep dressing up, wanting to look my best. And then jingle dresses just kind of came naturally because, okay. Yeah. So I started making jingle dresses like in 2020, actually. I was wanting to make a jingle dress for myself, but then the pandemic happened. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to raffle this. Mm-hmm. But I didn't actually raffle it. I sold it to one person and it took them a couple months to pay it off. And, from there, more people were wanting to buy jingle dresses from me. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll keep doing it. Until I get bored. And now I am finally trying to make myself my own damn jingle dress. And it's been taking me months because every time I'm like getting into it, I'm like, you need money, you should raffle it. And I was like, no. So yeah, that's just kind of me with clothing. It's a constant battle of just wanting to make for myself, but also making for others. Yeah. And then I usually like to donate like a portion of my profit, quote unquote, not much of a profit, to like a cause of some sort, because I feel like I should always be giving back to communities that helped me out or just causes that I care about. So, yeah.
That's very interesting. I've never had to make my own regalia before, but it is like a big thing because the powwow here in September. It's always such a event, and now that I'm older, I'm like, God, I need to actually improve my regalia. Yeah. So I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do this year. It's coming up. Although I have made a bag, bandolier bag, which is cool. I need a new headdress, and that seems very difficult for me to do myself.
What style do you dance?
I do men's traditional. I don't really like to do the dance because I'm really bad at it. But I do the grand entries. I don't compete or anything because I would lose. But I just do the grand entries, and then I go throughout my day all in my outfit. I remember as a kid I hated it because it was so damn hot and dusty. But now I'm just like, well, I have to do it. And it's also nice to like, because back when I was a kid, you had to dress up every day in your regalia and there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But now, like, me and my sister, like, old, we'll like have a day, like the first day, Thursday night, we're not dressing up. But Friday and Saturday, we'll dress up. Sunday, now we're going around just shopping for stuff for next year's regalia or whatever. We're not dressing up this day. But the best thing to do in buying expensive stuff is to be in your regalia, because then the vendors will be like, oh, this person's actually native. I'm not going to charge them the white person prices. So it's always good. Yeah. So do you have any tips for people looking to bolster their regalia?
Like, you mean just like improve, like with their designs, or
people are looking to, if they already have one, where should they look? If someone has a basic regalia, where should they look to improve it?
I mean, I don't really know if I'm good at giving advice like that. Just try and make it unique to you. Like, if you got a good dress, like a good foundation, everyone says, like, after you have like your base, like, so if you have your jingle dress, next thing you should focus on is your moccasins. Moccasins and like your earrings, because in competition they're also like looking at the style, like at your regalia as well as your dancing, and that's what my friend said. So that's why people have like the most blingy, like shiny earrings, because you want to get the judge's attention like that. And and then if you want to sew your own regalia, just don't put your zippers in the front. Don't put your zippers in the front. And if you do put your zippers in the front, at least do like an invisible stitch, so you don't have to see like the chunkiness of the zipper. I don't know if I'm describing that right.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's called a railroad zipper, where that you see, where you can see like not just the zipper itself, but like the fabric surrounding it. That's just a pet peeve of mine. Do an invisible stitch. It will elevate your regalia. It'll also just look neater.
I had no idea that the dance competition was also for like they had some like fashion sense to them. Like, people were like, the judge was saying,
Yeah, that's what I was informed about by multiple people. I've never participated in competitions myself because I was like a little shy dancer. Like, I would do the grand entries and all like the intertribal stuff. But once it came to competitions, I like sat it out as a kid.
Yeah, I was the same way. I just didn't like dancing. But now I'm like, okay, Hunter, you have to dance.
It's fun. I think it's really fun.
I don't know if it's fun for me, but I do it anyway just to do it. Because now I also like record a lot of the grand entries and whatnot. So I'm supposed to be making a documentary about powwow for the past 2 years. I guess 3 powwows over 2 years. It's interesting how it kind of works like that. But so I was like, first time I ever like sat and watched the grand entry. Usually I never watched them. I always had to participate. I was just watching. I was like, wow, look at this. This is a whole spectacle. This is amazing.
It's so beautiful. Like everybody's like glistening.
So this is what I looked like up there. I should have been doing this more often.
Literally. Yeah, it's so regal. So regal. Oh my God. I love like grand entries that like happen at dusk, or like
the 6 p.m. ones.
Yeah, like where it's just like the arena lights that's lighting everybody up. Like, oh my God. Yeah, so pretty. And I love, yeah. I could go on and on, but I'm like blah, 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 blah.
I usually don't stick around at night. When at least until I became an adult, because we were there so early. Getting to like a 12 p.m. grand entry is a true mission to get all like the kids ready, and then you're there all day. So when the time the sun goes down, you're like, I'm going home. But this year we had Aztec dancers coming by, and they did like a nighttime show. Mm-hmm. And so like we had on the drum we had this giant fire, and then they were dancing, and I was actually there, and I was like, oh my god, this is pretty amazing.
It's so amazing. Yeah. We would get Aztec dancers every couple of years at Honor of the Earth powwow, and we'd definitely stay. My family would more like come during the nighttime because it was always too hot during the day. And like I remember a guy like fainted. He was in his like men's traditional, and he had like some bear fur on him, and like he had like heat stroke. So my mom was just like, we're not going during the day, we're only going at night. And so yeah, Aztec dancers.
Yeah, dude, it's way too hot in the day. I remember, I don't know how I haven't passed out, honestly, because I have like this long sleeve shirt that's like has beading on it. Then I wear like leather chaps.
Ooh.
And then I have this deer skin vest thing. Oh. And then I used to wear this fox on my head. And it was always so hot. But like everyone else is in the same boat. I was like, well, if we're all dying on the inside from the heat. But like looking back, I don't know. I'm like, oh my god, that was way too hot.
It was.
And it was like dust in the air. You're not even getting good air because everyone's been dancing.
I don't know how people like leave the arena and like their skin just still looks flawless. Like they,
neither do I.
Like just like a little bit of a glow. But when I danced, my mom made me dance traditional as a child, even though I was like super hyper. I don't know why she made me do that. And so it was like heavy wool, like traditional, like plains outfit. And like I would just come back like dripping sweat. And they're
I mean, some people look like they don't even have dirt on them, and like throughout the whole day. I don't understand. Like I'll take off my moccasins, don't be like a damn desert in there. I don't get it. And
ancestors.
Kids these days have no idea what it was like to not have any rubber on the bottom of your moccasins.
Wait, people have the rubber on the bottom?
They used to.
What?
I got my last pair of moccasins have rubber on the bottom of them.
What?
So yeah, I know. It's a whole. I just couldn't do it anymore. But like, I didn't buy them for myself. I guess I was 17-ish when my feet stopped growing. So I got like another pair of moccasins.
Yeah.
And they had rubber on the bottom, and it was like now everyone almost besides like the elders have rubber on the bottom of their moccasins.
Oh my god, I did not know this.
Yes. It makes the day a lot better, and no one knows that you're wearing rubber on the bottom of your feet. But you can still feel all the rocks and everything because it's like very thin.
Yeah.
But at least it's not like gonna make you bleed randomly throughout the day.
Yeah, or just like have like all the dirt like just wedging in between your toes with it getting through this. Oh my god, I need to look into this.
Yeah. It changed my entire my life, my powwow lifestyle was getting like soles on the bottom of your shoes, which is nice. I also hate like walking barefoot because I always step on stuff. If there's something on the floor, staples, thumbtacks, Legos, doesn't matter what it is, poo on the floor from the dog, I will step on it if I'm wearing no shoes. If I'm wearing shoes, I'll somehow avoid it. I don't understand how that works. So I wear like slides around in the house now because I don't step on stuff. But yeah, my toes and my feet have gone through lots of pain and suffering from stepping on random crap. So that's why I was so excited to have rubber on my moccasins.
So fair. I'm gonna seek out these rubber moccasins. Yeah. I mean, I still want to have like the beaded tops, but we don't want to have our feet injured. No. Yeah, there are. I will say there haven't been any super like cool moccasins that I've seen with like the rubber on their bottom. I think it's just more like the basic ones kind of have rubber. Like mine has like the frayed leather. Okay. But that's about it. On like the top, I guess I would call it frayed. I don't know. Yeah. But besides that, they got a little something on the bottom and no one can see, which is nice. But I haven't seen any cool ones. Well, I mean, there's like we're so close to New York. We could always like go take like a cobbler class, like bring us like some fancy moccasins in and like just learn how to sole.
True. Yeah, I don't know why more people don't do that. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I guess I'm not wearing my moccasins that often, but for the couple days a year I am wearing them, I need soles in the bottom of my shoes now. Yeah. Otherwise, it hurts.
I mean, also we're surrounded by concrete. It's not natural.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that is a big difference back then. You'd be used to it in the back in traditional times, but nowadays everything's like all hard on the ground and rimmed with glass and metal. You can't really walk around barefoot around here.
No,
Too many ticks, glass on the ground, all sorts of crap. It's dangerous. Yeah, if you people don't go lying down in the grass around here either.
Because of all the ticks?
Yeah, maybe now at this time of year, even though today's a warmer day, so it'd be a little dangerous. In the winter you can, but in the summertime, don't go lying down in the grass unless you have some good tick spray on. And even then, they'll still get you.
No, yeah, they're notorious. Oh my God, I understand the importance of ticks in the food chain, but God, they're awful.
Yeah, which is one reason one thing I like about birds is they eat ticks.
They're the best. Birds are literally the best.
And bats eat them too.
Yeah.
Bats are scary though. Okay, no more bird talk. Bats have gotten into my house many times, and I've had to catch them.
But they're so cute. Okay, we're getting.
They're weird. They're cute. I can't believe you called them cute.
I think they're just adorable.
Okay. Well,
I would have been a vet if I was good at science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bird vet exclusively, or all animals?
All animals, but yeah, I do have an affinity for birds. So, yeah, would have been not good at science. Enthusiastic about the subject.
All right, let's continue talking about your art. We're at the hour mark already.
Wow.
Yes. So, we'll have to keep it pushing.
Okay.
All right. So we talked about your clothing, and we kind of touched upon your poetry and writing.
Yeah.
So I would like to talk more about it.
Yeah.
I know you write about lots of violence and whatnot. Where do you see your writing taking you?
Like subject-wise or just in general?
Subject-wise, do you want to write music, write books, write plays?
Yeah.
All that type of stuff.
Yeah. So definitely like I want to finish like the manuscript for a chapbook by the end of the year, like a chapbook or two, because, it's been a dream of mine to publish since I was younger. Mostly when I was younger, I wanted to publish children's books. So yeah, that's definitely on the table, and I am learning to write music. I do play piano. Been taking piano lessons for about a year.
Wow.
Yeah. My teacher says I'm very fast.
Wow. How do you like piano? Has that always been an instrument you want to play, or you just picked it recently?
It was something I always wanted to play, but just couldn't afford it. As a kid, and then obviously during college could not afford it. So I had a pretty decent paying job. Not great, but it was enough where I could afford piano lessons. Yeah. And so I'm trying to learn how to compose more and fit my lyrics within it. And actually somebody I met in Morocco, we were having a jam session, and I was lamenting to him. I'm like, I know how to write poetry, but I really want to know how to write music lyrics. And he was like, it just comes to you. He was he brought out his guitar, and he was just just play basic chords, and then the words will come. And the words and the melodies. So I'm trying to learn more about that, but basically from what I learned from him is that I have to give up some control, and that's hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. Definitely have a chapbook or two in the works though, and I'm very, very excited. And I'm moving to New York, so there's so many open mics around, and I'm
even one tomorrow. Oh
yeah. There's one here tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just excited to attend more open mics. Those are always really fun. Nerve-wracking. My tummy hurts always before going on stage, but it's fun.
I've been making a lot of TikToks about it. Not sure if you know Masas is a TikTok.
No, I didn't.
I've just been making sneak peeks at Ma's house open mic night, and it was the last one I made was really funny to me. Have you ever seen the show Back of the Barnyard?
No.
Have you ever seen Barnyard at all?
No, I don't really watch much shows.
Well, so there was this movie that ended up becoming a show. It was this show animated show about cows and on the farm or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's this one character. They're having a farm talent show, and it's so funny because tonight I will dislocate all my bones before your very eyes. And he just like dislocates. So I put that, and it was like Mom's House sneak peek of open mic night, and it was just that guy like dislocating his arms. And then, so you never watched SpongeBob?
Oh, of course I watched SpongeBob.
So there's that one where Squidward hosts like a open mic night too, where Gary is like meow meow meow, and that sounds like Jeremy. So I put like the captions like, oh, another sneak peek, and then welcome, and it's just Gary, but it's Jeremy like, doing meow meow meow, and then it cuts to Sandy who is saying, oh, he has such a way with words, and that's Brianna, and he's just like, and then in the back is like Squidward, who is maybe being like worried about not enough time, so he doesn't have a chance to go on the stage. So that's what I've been doing to prepare for to get some momentum and people knowing about the show on the TikTok side of things.
Yeah,
and those are my favorite type of videos to make.
Those are that sounds like so funny.
Yeah, let's get back to some questions because now it's getting a long podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Anything else? All right. So I think we've touched upon most of your. Are there any disciplinaries that we have not talked about?
No, I think we've like kind of just touched upon basically all of them. Like I used to do theater, but we don't need to talk about that.
Do you want to talk about theater?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay.
It was a great time. It was a great time. I love theater, but it is getting a little long of a podcast. So.
Yeah, we can always cut stuff down, but
Yeah.
the podcast has unlimited time.
That's
but it does get long. I feel like for people listening, they're like, "Oh my god, this is still going for 2 hours now."
Yeah,
It'd be a lot. Okay, well, is there any new mediums that you have been wanting to try that you haven't yet?
Well, no, I'm just going to continue to explore music. I cannot wait to get myself another piano, and just try my hand at composing. Yeah, I think that's what I'm most excited about. And of course, living in New York City soon. So just being surrounded by all the arts. I want to get back into ballet as well. And pole dancing and aerial silks. So it's just more like going back to things I like to do and just had to take a hiatus on for various reasons. So, yeah, I'm sure more interest will arise.
Yeah, I bet. I've always ballet dancing is so interesting to me.
I love it.
It seems like just my feet would just be annihilated, but if I was like a football player, I'd definitely be taking ballet because its footwork and stuff is so important. Mm-hmm. It's insane how people go through to do ballet, though.
Yeah.
It's quite the cutthroat industry.
Yeah, I just want to take it for funsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what people should be taking ballet for, because it's really cool medium.
It is. I really appreciate it. And I was like so flexible when I was taking ballet classes because of those stretches. So I was healthy as frick.
Nice. Well, do you have a piece of art that you're most proud of?
Like which, like an individual
It could
piece?
be, a single piece. Could be article. It could be a part of regalia, poetry, anything you've made. I guess it doesn't have to be most proud, but anything you've made that you're like, this is amazing.
I think one I'm most proud of is like my Filipina dress, which was a reversible dress I made for like my undergraduate BFA show. So it was like the outside was her boarding school uniform, and the inside was like her regalia. So I'm like still proud of that dress. And then like jingle dress wise, I'm really proud of the one I made for like my little cousin. I just had her mom pay for the materials, and I just made it for her. And it's basically, I made it with enough room where she can like expand it as she gets older, so she can like take out the sides and like bring down the hem. Yeah, and I like put cowrie shells on them, and then like Russian blue beads. I like went all out for my little cousin, and I'm proud of that because I love seeing family members happy. Yeah, I just love seeing people happy, man. Yeah,
me too. It's nice. That's why I like comedy. Because
yeah,
you can make people laugh, which is always good. Well, I guess we're almost done.
Right.
We're almost done. I think I have 2 more questions left for you.
Okay.
All right. So, first question, which I told you I was going to ask you later. Is there anything that I should have asked you about?
No.
Nice. No. Perfect. Also, okay, so now, do you have any questions for me, now that I've asked you questions for an hour and a half?
Oh, shoot. Well, I feel like I've been asking you questions like on and off throughout the whole podcast.
Yeah, you definitely have.
Yeah.
You definitely don't have to have a question either. But it's just an option if you want to get back at me.
Yeah. I was going to be like, why do you hate birds? But you already kind of answered that. So I'm already in the know. And while I disagree, I respect your opinion.
I don't, I'll just say, I don't hate birds, but I have a grudge against them right now.
Okay. Well, okay.
A consistent battle. I like ravens. They're kind of cool.
They are cool.
Because they're called a murder when all together.
Oh, no, that's crows.
Is that what you... Oh, I said raven?
Yeah.
Yeah, crows. Crows, true. Which one do you like better, crows or ravens?
Well, I love how ravens will go boop, boop.
What are ravens called when they're all together?
I don't know. A rave?
That would be a cool name, actually. Yeah, maybe. Group of ravens is now called a rave. They should have been. If they discovered them this year, they would have called them a rave.
Probably.
All right. Yeah. Well, I believe that is all the questions I have for you.
Yeah.
But at the end of every podcast, I like to give the artist an opportunity to plug all the social medias, their websites, anything you want to shout out. Like if you have a cause you want someone to donate to, be like, go check these people out. Just your floor is yours to say whatever you want.
Okay, yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at Anongookwe.wolf. My profile is private because, a lot of us get random follows from sex bots, and I got tired of that. So yeah, you can find me there. And if you're in northwestern Wisconsin, at the end of the year, I'll be hosting an open mic on my reservation, the Lakudere Ojibwe Reservation, where we will have cash prizes for the winners. And that was through the generous funding of First Peoples Fund. And then you'll have to add this like after the 19th when it's announced. Because, and donate to the Gaza's Children Relief Fund and Free Palestine. So, there's that.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Hopefully you also had a good time.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, everyone who made it to the end, thank you very much for listening. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode of the Ma's House Podcast.
Bye.